Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today you can see I got the 6x6 in the shop. Actually I got the 900 in here too, but that one is just thawing out because there was a bunch of ice on the floor. Wanted to get that out of it. But anyway, I'm going to start working on the 6x6 again. I have the camo panels that I need to get on that. I got the dash and the newer style hood, so I got to get that on here. I have actually power steering, a SuperATV power steering unit for it as well. So when I pull off all the dash and everything, I'm going to install that, which is I don't want to pull the dash off twice on this thing. And then I've also picked up an aux beam. I just found this controller, and I used it on my truck, and it's awesome. I guess I'll show that a little more. It's got like a controller here, and you can control 8 things, and it's really a neat controller, or switch bank, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to replace the big switch panel I got on it now with that. So I'm going to tear this thing down. My cab here that I have it's like totally custom, so showing you guys any of that really isn't going to help anybody out, because I doubt anybody is going to have a cab like that. So I'm going to disassemble this thing, and then I'll cut back as I do things, I guess. So this is what you get with the power steering kit. I'll link the one I got here, but you get the power steering unit itself right here, the motor, and it's got a few wires coming out of it, and then you get the two shafts, because you're going to replace your one longer one with 2 shorter ones, and then the assembly there. Very small wiring harness. And all this needs is power, ground, and then a switched power. And then this plugs into, I believe, this little brain box, I call it. And then they send you a few wiring things. You get some brackets. And then you got, of course, the instructions, which, like I said, some of those pictures are so zoomed in, it's hard to tell where they're exactly at. And then you've got obviously bolts to bolt stuff up. Okay guys, so you can see I am knee deep in this project right now. Pretty much have everything, or all the plastics off in my cab that I made. And reading the instructions on this power steering kit, the pictures are so dang close up and stuff, it's hard to figure out where everything goes, but I think I've got it all figured out. There's holes right here. I've already drilled them out to 3/8, but these are the holes you got to drill out to 3/8, because your big plate is going to bolt to that, and that's where your big motor is going to sit. There's a bracket right here. My machine didn't use it because this is an older machine, but there's a parking brake cable on the newer machines. Mine wasn't a parking brake cable. Mine was I believe they used this in the older models for the differential lock. But I just ground the welds off and took this off to give it more room, because I think I'm going to need it for this power steering unit. This is the bracket right here that's going to bolt. These 2 bolts are going to bolt to the frame. This piece is going to bolt to this bracket, and then your power steering unit is going to bolt to that. I'll show you when I get it in there. Another thing I had to do is I had to pull my steering shaft out. Usually there's a shaft right here. I'll show it to you in a second. and then you got a universal joint and another shaft, and it goes down to the steering, the rack and pinion. And this is the original shaft, one big long shaft there. This is the shaft that goes to the steering wheel. You're going to keep that one, but they've got this shaft. You're going to have a shorter one. You're going to have your power steering motor, and then you're going to have another shorter drive shaft or shaft to go to your steering. So that's how that's going to all work. Yeah, it's I've got quite the mess here. I'm working on getting my switch, aux beam switch assembly figured out, and yeah, it's rolling right along here. Hopefully I'm gonna have that power steering unit in here pretty quickly. I'm gonna probably get that shaft, I get the lower shaft in to the steering, and then I'm gonna put the brackets and the motor up in there, and then yeah, then we'll put the upper shaft, and then we'll put the steering shaft back on, and it'll be down to some wiring connections. So I got my power steering unit actually all installed. Everything is tight except for the upper shaft. This is the brain box on top, bolts onto the bracket with supplied bolts. Everything plugs into it. Got the wire harness right here. There's a fuse right there. You've got the white wire goes to a switched power source. There's a black and red that go to power. I had to extend my cables because, again, this is going on a 2004. This kit is for a 2005 to 2008, I believe. But it's going to work on this this Ranger. Just, you know, a few minor differences. Mainly the parking brake is not right here. They supply brackets for that, so if you do have the parking brake there, you got to bolt some brackets onto this main bracket here, and then you can once you cut your bracket off, you just bolt it onto this new bracket here. But anyway, first I installed it, and I found I had some clearance issues down there with the universal joint. So I'm going to show some pictures and of what I trimmed. I had to trim some to give clearance for that the new drive shaft down there. If I can get a picture of this, there's the new shaft down in there that goes to the steering, and that is the shorter one in the kit. The shorter one goes on the bottom, the taller one goes on the top. I've already tested it out. This thing steers like butter, so it's really going to be nice. One other thing I did do is on the front side here, there's the motor in place there. You can see this bracket right here. I made that. I noticed that when I was steering, that this whole plate was flexing. The whole mounting bracket was flexing, and the motor was flexing. So it's only bolted to this channel right here. This is like channel iron, and it's only bolted to one side. It's not bolted all the way across. So there is some flex in that. Do you need this? Probably not. I don't know how many of these units out there probably being used without that. I just didn't like it flexing, so I added this. Had to get a longer bolt for the motor bolt, but it's just something I wanted to do. But see, when I did this, that whole thing was flexing. Now it's not moving at all. It seemed worse when I turned the power steering unit on. Seemed to flex even worse, so I just wanted to take care of that. But yeah, I guess, guys, that's pretty well it for the power steering. Now I got to clean up all my wiring here, and I've got a lot of it. I got to replace all my relays. I've got relays for all my lights, but now with this aux beam switch, this is a relay and fuse center all in one. I gotta run my wires to here though. So I gotta do some wiring before I can start buttoning this thing back up, but that power steering is really gonna be nice, guys. Okay, so I've got it cleaned up in here, halfway civilized. I still have a lot of stuff, a lot of wires, because there's a ton of stuff on this machine, but it's a lot better. Basically, I replaced all that with this aux beam switch assembly. And this is the switches right here. This, I'm gonna run this inside the cab once I get the cab back on it. But there it is. The battery is under the seat in this machine, and I actually used some, I got some old cables that I had. I kind of collected Ranger parts over the years. You can see I've got more cable, positive, negative. I got hoses, I've got extra grills and stuff like that, wiring harnesses. This is actually my latest purchase from Power Sports Nation. Go check them guys out. If you need any kind of used ATV, UTV parts, guys, they pretty much have just about everything there. I've gotten quite a bit, and they've helped me out with this 6x6. And I just kind of collected it when I could find it, like, cheap. And it comes in handy because when I run a positive and a negative all the way to the battery, and then I connected it to this. So it's nice to do stuff like that, but you kind of got to have the stuff on hand. If I turn the switch on here, I can do it with one hand, I don't know. I turn the switch on. I don't have my stickers on there for label and stuff, but so you turn it on here. Those are my side ones. And I turn on the big light bar. So that's pretty neat, guys. That, like I said, this pretty much replaces that, because it's the fuses and relays all in one. So I'm about ready to test fit my dash. I gotta get my steering wheel out of the way. But I'm about ready to test fit it, and I don't know if I ever showed this, but this piece right here does not come factory with these Rangers. This is actually a product made by Ranger Wear, and I actually found this on eBay. The guy had a couple of NOS kits laying around. You're probably not going to find this anywhere but like eBay. But if you're trying to seal these older Rangers up, this is a really good idea to try to find one of these, because it seals the whole dash up. Now I had to just modify mine because I got the power steering unit in there now. So I had to kind of trim some of it back. But it's still, even doing that, it might not be quite as sealed as it was. But it's pretty darn sealed now. So like I said, if you're looking to get one of these older Rangers sealed, this thing is a must. Alrighty guys, it's starting to look like something again. I think that Camo's gonna look so good with the green on the roll bars and stuff. Cannot wait to get that hood on. I've got to figure out switches and stuff like that, because this is the newer style dash. It's different from the older style dash, so I got to figure out things like choke cable, and then I've also done some custom things. I got to get my heater control in there, so it's gonna take a little while before I can get my hood on, but shouldn't be too long here. Well guys, there's the hood on. I couldn't wait to get it installed. I probably should have waited till I had my dash finished, but I couldn't. And it looks awesome, just like I just like I thought it would be. Fighting a little bit of fitment here. I got a little bit of tight gap here. My hood's a little low there, or not my hood, but my dash is a little low here. Got a little too much of a gap over here. So it's gonna take a little bit of fitment and pushing and tweaking to get this thing to fit, I think. But another thing I'm fighting is the hood has flattened out, I think, because it hasn't been on a machine for so long. So I'm kind of fighting that. I'm hoping that's going to kind of spring back once I get it, once it's in place for a while. But it's awesome, guys. I love that newer look, and the camo. Really going to improve this machine. Okay, so I'm getting everything lined up as best I can and wound up. Got my winch right here, controller. It was on the face before, but I feel like if I stick it here, I can plug it in, and then when I'm not using it, I can put it in the bin there. Thought that was a pretty good idea. I've got my heater controls right here. I feel like that's a good spot. Got my choke right here because the dash that had this, or the Ranger that had this dash, was fuel injected. So there was no choke cable, so I moved the choke cable right there. I feel like that's a good place. Otherwise, my starter switch, my cigarette lighter, switches all I fit in there. I don't know what to do about the gauge yet. I might see if I can make one work, but I'm trying to get this piece installed in the dash, and this dash piece I have, the tabs in the back have broken, so I'm using what they call a well nut. And this thing is just a rubber deal with a nut in it, and when you tighten it up, it expands. So it'll grab a hold of these holes there that are there. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. It'll grab a hold of that hole. I just drilled these holes in it. It didn't come that way, but just took my time and drilled the holes. So I'm going to keep going, and I got to get my my switches probably somewhere around here. I'm going to put them on the dash there, and yeah, it's almost done here. So one more upgrade I'm going to do on this Ranger is I've got a new steering wheel here. This is actually a Grant steering wheel. I'll link all this stuff if you guys want to check it out. But this was actually a planned upgrade for the 900, but since I've got the steering wheel all took off this one, I figured I got the steering wheel, let's upgrade it. So like I said, this is a Grant. I'd be the Signature Series. It's supposed to be, I thought it was going to be leather, but I think it's just simulated vinyl or something like that. It's not something, I was expecting a little more, but not something I'd probably put on my truck. But I think it's a really good upgrade for a Ranger here. So you got to buy the steering wheel, and then you got to buy an adapter kit, which is this piece right here. And not real happy with Grant. I had to enlarge the holes to get everything to line up. There's 3 bolts in here, and the holes weren't lining up, so I had to enlarge them. Otherwise I was going to cross thread it because that piece is aluminum. But yeah, it's you can see the nut. I'm not real happy with the nut. It's not all the way on there. I got it tight, so I don't see it. I don't see it coming off. And then you can always just check it. This steering wheel button just pops on here, so it's not real hard to check that nut every once in a while. I can't put a horn button in there because it's a solid shaft there, but it gives it a nice finished look here. There is another adapter. I've got another steering wheel, another adapter coming for my 900. I'll see if that's better. Not real happy with this adapter, but anyway, guys, there it is, a new steering wheel for the 6x6. Alrighty, so finally all back together. Time to go for a test drive. Can't wait to see what that power steering does. I've got to do something about that windshield. That windshield is horrible. I cracked it trying to get it installed too, so it's really junk. It's got cracks in it and scratches, and I gotta do something different, but that's for another day. Alrighty guys, out here testing the machine out. That power steering is so awesome. I don't know how to say it any better than that. It is awesome, especially with this 6x6 that was hard to steer. Awesome. I would say that if I got one of these older Rangers, my first purchase would probably be power steering, because like I said, this is awesome. I love this 6x6 even more than I did before. The camo, it's awesome. I love it. It is so awesome. That paint that I used has a little bit of a metallic to it, and when the sun hits it, I mean, it's just awesome. It is awesome. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, but I've got LED headlights in here, so no more of those cruddy old yellowish headlights. Them are gone too, so yeah, it's awesome. I know I keep saying that, but it is. I love it, guys. I guess that's gonna do it for this one. I can't say awesome anymore, so I'll see you guys.